So far, the hardest part of this project for me is that even though it is a house for me and my family, I'm really not involved or needed or wanted at all in the actual construction of it. And it is for good reason. The general contractor and all the subs are interested in being as fast and as efficient as possible, doing their trade with minimal interference, let's say. And I'm a very hands-on guy. I love tools. I love to work. I love everything about these job sites. And so anytime someone does ask me for help or point me in a way that there's something I can do, believe me, I'm on it like a rash, which is what happened here. This is going to be the clean out for the main plumbing trunk, and the plumbers are here going to town, and it's either do this or have like a pretty ugly kind of commercial clean out in the wall of the bathroom. So I'm going to take my best shot and see if I can use this drill to punch through this. It's probably 8 inches of concrete here. The good news is we got this nice slug and the hole looks great from the outside. The bad news is I fried my dad's drill, which is typical me when I borrow something of his to break it. So I'm gonna quickly bring this over to Oregon Tool and cross my fingers that they can fix it, and then I'll bring it back to him and never tell him. We did a video here several years ago you guys can check out about hammers. Cross your fingers, because this drill is so old. I don't know, I'm a little bit scared. Let's see what they say. Uh-huh. Interesting. The guys at Oregon Tool here were really cool and really helpful, but not really confident that they would be able to find the parts for this old drill. I thought it was from the 60s, but they looked closer and thought it was from the 80s, but old enough that getting parts could be a problem, so we'll see what happens. The plumber on this job was an absolute beast and basically had the entire underfloor done in a single day with just him and a helper, and it wasn't a big long day or anything. Very clean, very tidy, as you can see. And he made some really good suggestions that I think we're going to be really grateful for in the long term. And I'll point those out once they're installed. It'll make a little more sense. And I got to say also, he wasn't like frantic, like running all around. He was just smooth and steady, and boom, must have been super efficient. The drains flow out of the house in this direction, so everything on this main trunk can be accessed and serviced through a clean out right here. And the other clean out, the one that we drilled through the stem wall, is right here, so that one can access this line if there's something that needs to be cleaned out. This here is a bathroom. The kitchen is right in this area, and over here is the master bath and the laundry room. Next, the HVAC guys came through. I learned a lot about ducting and HVAC on our spec house project, and this crew basically did things the exact same way, although the system itself is a little different. The system is designed on a computer to engineer the right amount of airflow to each part of the house and figure out, what size ducts and how long the runs are, and then it's installed to that set of plans. All the ducts are hung as straight as possible with as few turns as possible, and they really got to be careful about this, because otherwise you can have one vent in the house that just doesn't get any air, so that whole room or part of the house could be a little uncomfortable, and then the whole system just generally wouldn't be operating as efficiently. There's one piece of the drain here that's not hooked up, and it's that right there. That is the bathtub drain. And I'm guessing he's going to bring that up once the bathtub is set, so he knows exactly where it goes. Doing it now would be a little premature. And those blocks right there are also for the bathtub. Those are to brace the valve that will be controlling the faucet for the bathtub. So we'll look for some of this footage later once that is going in. Here's a nice little piece of plumbing. There's the clean out here, and then he's got all of his fittings there. If I tried something like this, there'd be like 8 more couplings all put in here from all the mistakes and corrections I would make. But nobody would care either, because it's way down there in the crawl space. Although you plumbers would care, or you'd certainly notice. At this point, all of the underfloor work is done. That's the vapor barrier and the insulation, the waste and drain, the water lines, and the HVAC. So tomorrow, Jesse and his guys are coming to put a deck on this and start building up. And thank you for joining us on this little video series. I'm not sure what the framing will be like, if we're gonna do that in just one video or maybe a couple videos. If you are interested in the very technical specifics of how all of these trades work, we did a video series, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, but we made a video series a couple years ago building a house, and we were very up close and personal with each of the trades, showing how and why and what exactly they're doing. So if you want to know the technical details, check that out, and hope to see you on our next video. Okay, great news. Oregon Tool was able to fix it. And from what the guy said on the phone, it was kind of a lucky, they found the right part like deep in a junk drawer somewhere. Sounds like it was a bearing that went out. So I'm gonna go pick it up. I am so relieved because that thing was old.
Thanks. I actually, I saved one for you.
Oh really? I'd love to see it. Holy smokes.
Yeah, so you can take that to the fellers back home and you can say, yeah, that's what happened.
Well, look at this bearing. It's just fried, and apparently this was not the bad one. I still don't really understand. When it happened, I saw a little bit of smoke coming out of the housing, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe that was like the bearings were burning or something at that point. I instantly thought it was something to do with the motor, but very happy that it wasn't, and the drill now works great.